Hey, so by now hopefully you're feeling comfortable with the stick in your hand and you've got a nice relaxed loose grip and have found the ideal place to hold the stick, the fulcrum, where the stick moves in your hand and comes back to you using the kinetic energy to come back to that vertical position. Okay, so where we're going to go from here, we're going to talk about singles. Now singles is basically what we've just been doing anyway. It's one note at a time with either hand to hand drumming. Okay, so quite common in drumming terms, we use the term single stroke roll. So a roll is really just playing fast, consistent flow of notes. Okay, so a single stroke roll might sound something like this. Or okay, so what's happening there? Actually, you can see the only thing that's moving is my fingers. So how does that work? It's called finger control. So we are actually manipulating the stick by using our fingers and nothing else. This is a good time to talk about what I think of the gears of drumming in terms of how we use our fingers, wrist, elbow. Okay, so they're like different gears of a bicycle. They're basically, if you want to go fast, we use the small gear because that gives us more rotation in the wheel. If we want to go slower, we can use our wrist. If we want to go even slower, we use our elbow. Okay, so you can see it's a bigger motion, our elbow. Also, a more powerful motion, therefore we can get more volume. Height is volume. We have further to travel, so we can create more volume. That's when you see heavy hitters and they're like up here smashing it. What they're going for is volume. They're not going for speed, because you can't play that fast when you're doing this. Okay, you can play fast when you're doing that. You can see the sticks aren't really coming above. I mean, I'm playing accents there, and the sticks are almost not even coming to 90 degrees. It's physics, really. It's the art of understanding how much force and the volume that you get from that level of force that you put in. Okay, so when we want to play fast, usually it's down here, it's low. So we get a single stroke roll that's nice and fast using our fingers. If I don't use my fingers and I just use my wrists, it actually gets slower. If I just use my elbows, slower still. Okay, funny way to describe it, but it does make sense. So how are we going to play with our fingers? Well, the interesting thing is we can play basically by holding the stick with the first finger and thumb, which gives us our fulcrum, and then we bring our fingers in to play the stick like so. Now at the moment, if you can see, I'm actually playing the back of my hand, also the palm of my hand and my fingers, and that's what's happening. So you can do that and you're actually kind of almost like you're playing a surface. You can see I'm playing the stick slightly above the pad. If I bring them down, there you go, you can actually play the pad. So back to what we were talking about, it's a single stroke roll. So how do we think about it? Well, I think of it like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 4 notes and then 4 notes in the gaps: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So that gives us 8th notes, because there's 8 notes that are being played. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8 notes. Okay, so how do we make 16th notes? Well, we take the other hand and we play the notes in between the 8 notes. So we end up with this. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E. So you can hear now, every time I say 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm saying 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Very basic musical language that people use to talk about 16th notes. Okay, so there you have it, the 16th note single stroke roll. You've learnt at least 2 things. The way to practice that would be to play at tempo with a metronome or without a metronome. It's not essential that you use a metronome, but it's good to play with some kind of timing reference. So maybe your favourite song or your favourite piece of music. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, good luck with that, and see you on the next one.